ومع حلقة جديدة مع الطريقة السهلة لترك التدخين. يلا بينا.
The only reason any smoker lights a cigarette is to feed that little monster and try to relieve the aggravation caused by the previous cigarette. It's like wearing tight shoes just to get the pleasure of taking them off. There are several reasons why smokers find it difficult to see it like this. Remember, the empty feeling is indistinguishable from hunger and normal stress and is almost imperceptible. There's no physical pain whatsoever. Our brain is therefore fooled into believing that the empty feeling is caused by the stresses of life, whereas in fact it's caused by the withdrawal from the previous cigarette. We only know the feeling as I want or need a cigarette. The moment we light up, we do immediately feel more relaxed, less stressed, and better able to concentrate. So the cigarette gets the credit for relieving the feeling, but not the blame for causing it in the first place. Another major factor which lowers the smoker's well-being is the disadvantages of smoking. Of course, smokers try to block these from their minds.
I could be hit by a bus tomorrow.
But would you deliberately step into its path?
I think exhaust fumes cause more damage than smoking.
But would you put your mouth over an exhaust pipe and deliberately inhale the fumes? As a smoker, you not only suffer the harmful effects of pollution, but also the much more harmful effects of smoking.
I can afford to smoke.
Well, good for you, but isn't it a bit stupid to set light to £50,000? After all, that's what the average British smoker spends on cigarettes in their lifetime. Possibly the worst aspect on the health side is not the risk of killer diseases like lung cancer. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not belittling those diseases. But all our smoking lives, we block them from our mind, promising ourselves we'll quit tomorrow. It's like a time bomb ticking away. We hope that it'll never happen, or that by some miracle we'll have quit before it does. But the moment we start smoking, we're not only congesting our lungs with tars and other poisons, we're also systematically and progressively gunging up our blood vessels. We're starving every muscle and organ in our body of oxygen and the vital minerals which we need to enjoy our lives to the full. Because this deterioration happens gradually, we aren't even aware of it. It's like growing old. It's not until we see a photograph taken 10 years earlier that we notice the difference. Provided you keep fit and healthy, this aging process need not adversely affect the quality of your life. But regularly poisoning your body does affect it. You become breathless, permanently lethargic, and wake up feeling tired even after a full night's sleep. And the vital parts of your body which are most affected by this poisoning and starvation are your heart, your brain, and your immune system. How can your brain concentrate properly if it's not only being distracted by withdrawal, but also starved of oxygen? Did you know that smoking coagulates your blood? How can you expect your heart to continue to pump increasingly coagulated blood through increasingly restricted blood vessels? The miracle is not that smokers have heart attacks and multiple bypass operations, but that our bodies can survive the poisoning at all. It says much for the incredible strength of the human body. If we treated our cars like our bodies, they'd be scrapped within a year. Yet amazingly, once you stop smoking, the body purges the vast bulk of accumulated filth and poison within just a few weeks. In addition to this physical deterioration, smoking destroys your self-confidence and self-respect. You realize you're not in control. Cigarettes are controlling you. You're not just smoking when you choose to. You've got to have them. And even the thought of not having them sends you into a panic. As your wheezing, coughing and lethargy increase, the cancer scares become dark shadows looming at the back of your mind, and you realize that you're a slave to the cigarette. This gradual physical and mental deterioration combine to reduce your level of well-being as you go through life. The low therefore gets lower and lower, and the high that you come back to every time you light a cigarette goes down in proportion. It's an endless cycle, that causes the victim to go in one direction only, downwards. If only smokers could remember how they felt before they fell into the trap, and realise how great they'll feel when they escape. A smoker will always feel less happy on a good day and more stressed on a bad day than a non-smoker. You smoke purely and simply to feed the little monster, because if you don't, you start feeling uptight. The good news is that this little monster is easy to kill. All you have to do is stop smoking and stop taking nicotine in any form, and it dies very quickly. What's more, the physical withdrawal is so slight that providing you use this method, it'll scarcely bother you at all. Once you've understood and accepted that you're making no sacrifice whatsoever, and that therefore you're not being deprived of anything because cigarettes do nothing for you, then you'll be able to return to the state you were in before you started smoking, and you'll become a happy non-smoker. But perhaps you're still not convinced that smoking does nothing for you whatsoever. So let's remove the remaining illusions.
It relaxes you.
It relieves boredom.
It helps you concentrate.
It helps your self-confidence.
Let's look at these arguments one by one.
Wasn't that a great massage? Yeah, but I could really do with a cigarette right now.
In fact, it's the complete opposite. It makes you feel uptight, irritable, and nervous. When you should feel relaxed, you experience withdrawal symptoms if you can't smoke. So you smoke in order to try to get rid of that withdrawal. In fact, you smoke in order to feel as relaxed as a non-smoker, who of course never suffers the withdrawal in the first place. Get it clearly into your mind. The cigarette does not relieve the panic feeling, it causes it. In a bored state, you have nothing to take your mind off the itch of the little monster in your body craving nicotine. So you feel the need to scratch it. But scratching the itch doesn't relieve the boredom. When you're smoking, you're hardly thinking, "This is fascinating," are you? We're so obsessed with smoking, and it takes up so much of our time, that we often neglect activities which are genuinely stimulating. In fact, the lethargy and apathy which result from smoking are primary causes of boredom.
Well, you're ideally qualified for this job in every way. However, it requires a high level of concentration. As you know, cigarettes help with concentration, and I notice you're a non-smoker. So, unless you're prepared to start smoking, I'm afraid I cannot offer you the job.
That situation is clearly absurd, but it wouldn't be if smoking genuinely improved concentration. If you were being distracted by noise, hunger, or anything else, you'd need to remove that distraction in order to concentrate. When the little monster is demanding to be fed, you're actually being distracted. You're permanently more anxious as it's demanding its fix. Cigarettes destroy your nervous system and make you feel insecure. They undermine your self-respect. Once your body has stopped withdrawing from nicotine and the brainwashing has been removed, you'll be more relaxed, less bored, better able to concentrate and have more self-confidence. However, it's absolutely essential for you first to understand that cigarettes do not give you any genuine crutch.